side.
Okay. Do you have a session open for our YouTube and our TrackDaz?
I don't.
Okay. I'm gonna open that up right now. Let me see. Go there.
Apparently it's live, dude. It's live.
Is it really?
Yep.
Are we live, dude?
Yeah, actually, should I start this off real quick with introducing everybody to who the hell you are?
Oh, really? Yeah, I think we should. Let's do that.
Yeah, so introduce yourself, Jeff.
My name is Jeff Brown. I've been working with Dustin at TrackDaz for, man, I don't even want to say, dude, that's personal information. We're going to keep that restricted.
You're kind of living what, a lot of our customers ask about, right? Because like when I started this thing 20 years ago, you were signing up like as a regular customer and you would mail me a check.
I would mail you a check, dude.
Your
Seriously.
entries were paid for by check.
By check, dude. Send it in, lick the stamp, the whole 9 yards, man. So it was brutal. It was a while ago. I mean, the bikes that I was riding, man, I think that's when like 60 horsepower was like bomb, man. You know what I mean? Dude. You had a 600 with like 60 horsepower, dude. You were in a whole nother league. Yeah,
it's really funny, I mean, perspective is so skewed now. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that we're in this like new golden era,
But the whole way it evolves, man, like the evolution is like exponential, right? It was like, we went from 60 horsepower, then you got the next 68 horsepower. Now it's like, dude, 600s are running 130, 100. It's like insane,
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's, it looks like we're live on both YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, I'm checking out YouTube. You guys hold on. I'm gonna see if this thing's working real quick. So you're actually on our Facebook page?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we go way back, right? Like I had that little red bike, that Honda thing back then, and you had something, I don't know what it was, but like then we both kind of ended up with that Suzuki 750 with like the coffee table size gas tank, right?
Right. Dude, I borrowed a bike, dude. That was like, okay, lesson number one for all you guys out there that go to TrackDaz days. Do me a favor, dude. Do not borrow anyone's bike. What happens when you borrow someone's bike is that's when there was a tire pressure issue or somebody spewed oil on the track, and good luck trying to bring that bike back in the crash truck and explain to the person you borrowed the bike from that it wasn't your fault.
Right.
Not an easy conversation.
Yeah.
My advice to you.
Yeah, you were there, right? I mean,
I was there, dude.
Yeah. So this was years ago. Thankfully, we can laugh about it now. I was kind of between bikes, and then we had an event at Buttonwillow, and this guy that was a regular customer of ours, his nickname is Rhino, or the Rhino. He was this big burly dude, and he was that guy. You remember he had like that Coors Light go-kart thing?
Oh yeah, dude. I remember him.
Radio Flyer one.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, dude, borrow my RC51. So, Rhino loans me this RC51. And by the way, it had Colin Edwards' signature on it after he won the World Superbike Championship, right?
You already know where this is going.
Yeah, so that one got stacked up pretty good. That one got stacked up pretty good, and busted frame and the whole bit, and had to bust out the checkbook for a while on that one.
Well, what I'll give you, Dustin, is you did a much better job than me. What I did is when I borrowed the guy's 600, I low-sided it in turn 2. So I owed the guy like a peg, and like he had like a little Akropolvik on there. So I had to give him an Akropolvik can or whatever. I was pissed about that, right? That was like, I don't know, it ended up being like $700. I was like, damn, that one stung.
Yeah.
But when you threw that RC51, dude, you weren't bullshitting, dude. You tossed that mug, dude. I remember when that thing came back in, I was like, oh, when you look at a bike and you're just like, oh, that's not gonna run again. That bike saw its last day on the track. That's for sure. Oh my
goodness, dude, you were so spot on with that. I mean, it was like one of those easy little low side. Oh, this isn't gonna be too bad, and then it ran the curbing at the exit. $1,000. I mean, there was not much left of that thing, and I had to call in every possible favor I could find, and yeah.
Did you just pay for that, or did you actually fix that bike?
Oh, dude, we fixed it. Like,
really?
Yeah, we busted out. I took it to a shop. It's actually the guys in East LA, Polo and those guys. And
yeah,
like he helped me put it back together, and
dude, that's impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. And yeah, so I'm that's kind of funny. Matt Cavarlis is like, yeah, what about that AMA racer who borrowed someone's Desmo and crashed it? Yeah,
dude, just borrowing bikes in general. I mean, if there was any
I'm
topic,
gonna be not politically correct and just do like, yeah, dude, Doug Poland did that.
oh, dude, we've had a couple racers do that. Didn't we have just recently? We had one who I won't mention to kind of like save his ego, but we just had that recently where one of our race guys came and visited us at the track and tossed one.
Yeah, I don't recall who you're talking about, but
yeah. I like the dude, so I'm not gonna put him out there. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but yeah, he came in, dude. Everybody was all like, yeah, dude. They were seeing him getting autographs, and he went out there for like 3 sessions and
yeah, it happens, I mean, none of us are really immune to it, right?
No, not at all, dude. I mean, really, the only way you can get rid of that is just to have your own bike.
Yeah, well, that, but also, it kind of goes into what we've been going on right now, right? Like, we've been on the shelf for 2 months, and we get an event coming up on Friday, and I mean, button willow is button willow, right? Like, there's always something. Tony Strapoli saying that we're calling him out. Yeah. So yeah, and Cavarlis is saying that Jeff is too chicken to call out whoever that was.
Oh, that's wrong. Dude, I'm just being politically correct, bro. Dude.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not really politically
right.
correct.
Dustin is not.
We're talking about. I would totally rat that person out.
Right away, dude. Dustin would have dropped the name bomb.
Just so you know, if you want, I could share the screen of you wrecking a pocket bike in the pits.
Oh, now just so everybody knows out there, this pocketbook video, dude, is just getting way too many views, bro. This is 2000. Year 2000 right here, dude.
All right, here, I'm gonna play
year 2000. Look at this, dude. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at the pixelation on that, dude. That's when you know it's an old thing, dude. Look at the pixelation, bro.
Yeah, it's not sharing it. Oh, it is sharing it. Oh,
yeah, that's not good, dude. Okay, so this is me trying to avoid the truck. So now, dude, first of all, see that truck right there? Just so you know, when you have a pocket bike and you got a size 12 foot, you cannot try to get any lean angle on that thing. Your foot will hit the back wheel and high side you, and you'll be that guy that has a video out there on YouTube that will never get deleted. Trust me, I've tried to delete it. You cannot delete a video that someone else owns, just so everybody else knows out there.
I'm ever deleting that because it's legend.
Dustin's a dick. He will not delete that video. He owns it and he will not get rid of it, dude. Just so everybody knows out there, if you're going out to a TrackDaz event and you're going to do something stupid and the cameras are rolling, dude, it's not getting deleted, dude. Be careful.
Yeah, so like I said, I started to say, we got to be smart, right? I mean, we've had quite the break, and I mean, it's so easy to go out there and just like send it right away and then have us have to come get you, right? I mean, that's like the biggest worry that I have.
I don't think people have faith. When I go on the track day and I have a meeting, I try my best to give everybody that assurance that no matter what, dude, there's way more than enough track time. You're probably going to pack up early. You think when you're there for your first time or maybe your second time, dude, you got to get out there right away. You got to get as much track time as you can. It's all about quality, dude. It's like going out there and making sure it's warm, trying to find the ideal conditions. Yeah, you could argue that I'm a bitch. Yes, I am. But I like the track to be warm. I don't want it to be cold. I don't want to be chilly out there. Nothing, dude. I want to wait for it to get warm. Let everybody else kind of test the conditions, and then you go out there maybe.
I'm an old guy.
Dude, it's OG shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm proud of it, dude, because that's how you get here, right? Is like paying attention to other OGs, man. I had
Yeah.
so many OGs at the track going, dude, what are you doing, man? Calm down. You don't have to go out there on the first session, dude. The first session is like the worst, man. That's the one where we do the most pickups, and it's usually like the first and the last session. It's where either people are tired and they really shouldn't be out there again, or they're going out there too early and they're trying to go super fast, dude. It's like, dude, just be mellow, dude. Let your brain acclimate to the speed, and everybody's speed is different. And I think that's another thing that we see, D, all the time, man. You go to Dustin's track days, you're going to see some of the serious guys out there. You're going to run into the Chad Lewins. You're going to run into the Corey Soroses, some of the like super fast club guys.
Chad Lewin any additional ammo, dude.
Okay. Well, you're going to run into
a bigger helmet after that, dude.
You're going to see a Cameron Bobier, you know, you're going to see his brother Ezra. You're going to see these guys coming around you, man. And you got to just really just take that ego and turn it down a little bit. Don't get pulled into that. And just ride your own pace, man. I think sometimes with motorcycling, that's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I kind of want to ride in a way that allows me to ride next time.
Yeah, dude, I do other stuff, dude. I love motorcycling. I'm diehard, man, but there's other things that I want to do after I get off the bike, and I can't do that if I'm injured. So it's just really not an option right now. I mean, obviously, we are in a dangerous sport. Anything's possible, but if you're mellow, man, and you got your head on straight, your ego's in check, man, and you check your ego in the paddock, you got a much better chance of going home with your bike on the back. And I got to tell you, man, if you don't have a toy hauler, dude, because this happened to me, and you have your bike and it's wadded and you have it on the back of an open pickup, it is really not cool, dude. It's about 190 miles, whatever the distance you're traveling to go to Buttonwillow, of just sheer shame, because everybody's looking at your bike going, ooh, what happened to him?
Hey, you know? I'll tell you what, man, I was at somebody else's event years ago that this company is no longer in existence, so I can talk shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was one of those deals where, you know, I kind of got wiped out on a new R1 and basically totaled the thing. Like, it was awful. But I used the crash bike to get out of the ticket.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I'm like, yeah, dude, my ribs, whatever. And the guy looks at the bike, looks at me, and was like, "You go ahead and go, dude."
Yeah. Do you need an escort? No, that's real, man. But you've always been good at that. You've always been good at taking that situation and turn it into a positive, no matter how negative that situation is. So I got to give you props.
I mean, you know, we just have to do what we got to do. You know, we're just we love riding motorcycles, obviously, or we wouldn't have been doing it for 20 years. I can't even, it still kind of doesn't register with me that this little company that I started on a napkin in a pub is like a thing still.
It's a big thing now, dude. It's a big thing. I mean, if I think about where you came from like the old track days to now, man, I can't even, it's insane, man. It was just, you know, having the sponsorship with Yamaha, just the whole uniformity and the professionalism of the presentation. Yeah, the website is awesome.
You know, like we've joked about it on our track day staff page, right? I mean, it's like, you know, back in the day, 20 years ago, we always thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, we rode the same bikes? Wouldn't it be cool if, you know, we all had hooked up with tires or whatever? And dude, we've been living that for real for 12 years.
Oh, right? Easy. Yeah.
I mean, we've been with Yamaha 12 years. And
dude, I was looking at my closet the other day. I got 13 track days jerseys. 13, bro. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like a rite of passage, right? If you want to be an OG, you got to be able to go to your closet. You know, nobody's going to be a Jimmy Avila or a Cowboy, some of the real OGs out there. Just sending a shout out to you guys. But you know, there's a couple of us like me that are deep into the OG, but the real ones are.
I mean, Gil and Jimmy are the OGs for sure.
Yeah, Gil and Jimmy
have been with me since the 90s, dude. Like,
well, they were there before you even thought about doing this.
Dude, like we would terrorize the backside of Angeles Crest Highway through the tunnels and stuff, and do
it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that they're still riding. You know, that Jimmy and Gil are still riding, and you know, you got
because you know, I'm gonna go there, right? Because it's me.
Right.
Gil is the same speed today that he was 20 years ago.
You know, like Gil, I look at Gil, I look at him like, dude, he's just being careful, man. You know,
Yeah,
Gil's like, nah, dude, I'm not touching the ground, dude. He's just like that. I'm over that. I don't
right.
feel that there's any merit in that. There's nothing. So I'm gonna ride this bike. And dude, when you're riding a brand, that's the only thing that's stressful about the evolution of track days, right?
Yeah,
Is
dude.
now you're on a $14,000 bike most of the time, dude. And it's like, whoo, man, there's a party that's like, hey, man, turn that dial back a little bit if you go ride this bike.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean, there's been a few of us that have stacked them, right? I mean,
yeah,
we went a couple years and we didn't have anything going, and then Robbie Dowie kind of started the trend. Yeah, I'm calling dudes out.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just real, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
Robbie stacked one pretty good when we first got the cross plane R1, and then dude, he did it again the next year.
Oh,
Dude, he stacked that one big, like huge. And Robbie pretty much pulled back a ton after that. Like, he hasn't ridden much since then. I've stacked one. I think Stu stacked one at Laguna. You remember we called it turn?
yeah, yeah. Oh, dude,
Dude, you stacked
man.
one at Thunder Hill, right? Like,
Dude, that was so painful. I'm going to tell you guys out there, the only thing I did right, when I stacked that bike is I chose an R3.
right.
Dude, thank God. And I chose an R3 and I low sided it. So it was like all I had to do was buy it real quick, get some side body work, dude, and a couple of pegs and a handlebar,
Yeah.
dude, and just drop that thing like
Dude, that
it's hot.
R1 I stacked a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. That one was like, that bike had 200 miles on it, dude.
Oh, oh, those hurt, dude. And just so the people out there that don't realize the way we run at track days, you see the staff guys or whatever, dude, it's a cash deal with D, right? So you walk and you stack that bike. We don't do financing at track days. This
Break it,
ain't
you buy it.
tracks. This ain't track days bank and trust, dude. This is straight up write me a check.
Yeah.
Dustin will send you an email with his PayPal account. That's how it works.
Yeah,
You do not want to stack a bike at track days, bro.
The Red Bull rookie kid a few years ago, right? He stacked one Nitro Circus style, our brand new, and his dad was like, "Here's the card."
Yeah, just go ahead and put it on there, dude.
G3,
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, man, stacking is tough, man. How we doing with our weekend? I mean, hopefully we can get some hype, man, because this is gonna be great.
Dude, honestly, we don't need any more hype.
We're doing good.
Yeah, the Friday event at Button Willow is completely done. The weekend at Chuckwalla is completely done, and it's crazy too because like something happened yesterday. It's so weird. I was getting all these 408, 707 area code, like obviously NorCal phone numbers. And, about noon yesterday, I told my wife, I was like, dude, what the hell's going on? Why am I getting all these calls from NorCal? And turns out there was an event going on at another racetrack up there. And, for whatever reason, it got canceled. And so everybody was like trying to get in last minute. And I'm like, sorry, guys, we're cool.
Oh, wow. Now, why did they get canceled?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was at Thunder Hill or whatever, but it might have been Carter's,
Okay.
One of the staff dudes at Carter's told me that. But yeah, I mean, I guess something happened with the track and the track was like, yeah, dude, we're closing. So
damn. Can we talk a little bit about how we're going to address social distancing, D?
Yeah, man. I mean, we got to play the Rona game, right? So,
right.
I mean, it's basically kind of like what you do when you go to Albertsons.
Right.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna kind of chalk out or tape out X marks the spot for registration. You got to stand here or here. I think we're gonna do 2 lines in registration. Okay. Just kind of help speed up a little bit maybe. And then yeah, I mean, just like at Costco, right, or whatever. And then we'll split the lines apart in tech, same kind of deal. X marks the spot for the riders meeting and the new rider orientation class thing outside. And then we're also, for the writers meeting, we're doing a Zoom as well. So we're going to do like a Zoom meeting live. So like if you're worried about showing up to the meeting in person, we could just check your name off of the list off of the Zoom.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That's awesome. Now, so basically people will have the ability to log into Zoom from their area in the paddock?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
dude, they can look at it on their phone.
Good, good, good. That's awesome, dude. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I mean, just trying to do whatever we can do, and then obviously telling everybody to pit. I mean, dude, there's like 400 and some acres of paddock, so
Yeah, exactly.
anyway,
Just separate yourselves when you
probably
pit.
quite a bit more at Chuckwalla too, because it's like
Right.
there. So I mean, there's no reason why anybody should be pitted all up on each other, and you know, there's no. I mean, the only thing is you got to wear your mask when you're gonna leave your pit, basically, right?
And rumor has it we got some track days masks, don't we, D?
Yeah, we do. We
Do
do.
you have one, dude? Do you have one?
I
Oh yeah, dude.
Well,
That little shout out to the track days mask, you guys. So
yeah, I shipped out like 70 of those stupid things.
yeah,
yesterday.
dude. So you're gonna bring some to the track, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay, good, good, good. I'm gonna be sporting mine. So if you guys want to come over and see what it looks like on a good looking brother, you can just come check me out. It's like,
Right.
so yeah, but really, dude, I'm looking forward to it because I've been inside
Me too, man.
way too long, bro.
Yeah, the reality is, dude, I just love riding motorcycles. I've been kind of going bananas, not getting to ride anything for 2 months. Except the bicycle. I've been putting a lot of miles on that.
Oh, dude, you've been racking them on the bicycle, dude. I'm actually gonna go to the track on Thursday and meet Dustin at 2 and let him beat up on me, dude, for a little bit. So I already know I'm gonna get abused.
Anybody that's coming on Friday, if you're signed up for Friday and you want to ride bike.
On Thursday, we're going Thursday, right, bro? We're gonna do like
no, Friday is the track day, 6 a.m. Friday morning. The other B group, we're gonna do laps for an hour. So as many laps.
Is there anybody at the track on Thursday?
I don't think so. I'm gonna get there Thursday to like set up and draw X's and stuff.
Me too. I'll be there early, so maybe we get another. If there's nobody there, we'll get another little quick cruise in or whatever.
Maybe. But you know, getting all the stuff set up is going to take quite a bit of time. And I know that, you know, Chris McGuire and his crew from CT Racing, they're going to come and they've kind of pledged to help us out. And you know, it should be good.
Okay, well, I'll be there too, man. So I don't have anything to do. That's another thing that's really that's the benefit of this whole COVID thing is, you know, free time. You know, there's nothing to do. I've been in the house, man. I'm like sitting here looking forward to a track day like I used to back in the day, bro.
Right. Yeah, and you know, I mean, truthfully, I've been just raring to ride this R1, you know, because GPU threw the cartridges in there and it's been sitting in the garage ever since.
Can I tell them the R1 story, D?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we're obviously all you guys out there, we support Yamaha, dude, and Yamaha really does deserve the support. They are a great motorcycle. I used to be a diehard Suzuki guy. It took me a little bit. Dustin had to work on me to get me out of the Suzuki realm. But finally I got a Yamaha, dude, and I was really, really excited about my R1. I had a 2015 Raven, dude. Man, as soon as I got that bike, I was like, this bike is the bomb, dude. I really thought.
First of all, you said bomb.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm dating myself, but it was serious, dude, right? So I'm looking at this bike, man. I'm thinking to myself, you know what, man? I don't think I will ever need another motorcycle, bro. This bike is the apotheosis of just electronic engineering, dude. I was so excited about that motorcycle. So then I go out there, dude, and my motorcycle didn't have tires. So I go out to the last Button Willow day and I try the 2020, dude.
Go ahead. Say what you're going to say, dude.
Dude, I am so sorry for you people that have a 2015 or a 2016, dude. Here's my advice to you. Do not get on a 2020. Back in the day, we would have said, oh, it's not that big of a difference. They only do a couple little tweaks. Nah, dude, it's a different motorcycle, dude. I had a 2015 R1, rode a 2020, and came home and sold the 2015.
That's
the
true.
Next week, I sold it. I have never, ever been that impressed with an evolutionary gap in my entire life. I didn't even realize you could do that in 5 years. I thought in 2015, man, we pretty much got our shit together. I mean, you know, Japan has worked all the kinks and they got it all worked out. I don't know what happened between 2015 and 2020. If Cameron Bobier came up with some great idea or something, I don't know what happened, dude. But what they did with that motor and how it delivers power, how much smoother it is, how much it feels, even though it's what, only a 10 horsepower difference, D?
Well, no, it only makes 4 more on top. You know, we took it down to a tax dyno, and Yosef, you know, is Yosef, and ran it on the dyno. We didn't tune it or anything. We just wanted to see what it was going to do stock, because I think we're going to throw a GYTR ECU and harness and stuff in there. And yeah, man, the thing, it made about 4 more on top than the previous model, and makes probably 8 more maybe than the 15. But in the middle, you know, between the last model and the 2020, it made 10 more in the middle, which is insane. And that's why it was like, all of us were like, dude, this thing feels faster. Everybody says it's the same bike, and it's not the same bike.
And it felt a lot faster, you know, because I've been riding my 2015, so I kind of already knew what to expect. It just didn't need to be nearly as high in the R's. And it felt like it had more foot-pounds in the mid-range.
So I'm looking at some of our questions coming up, and Sebastian's asking what's so different about the 2020. And there's a lot of things, right? But I'll just give you like the bullet points. The fuel injectors, I guess they kind of squirt in a more direct way to the back through the intake, you know, instead of like splashing against the side or something, it's like direct.
Right.
So maybe that's something, you know, the swing arm's a little bit different. The forks, I think, are a little bit different. Then there's some more, the electronics are quite a bit more different too.
Yeah.
Engine braking stuff.
Well, to answer Sebastian's question a little bit further, Dustin can give you sort of the specifications and the differences of those things, because he works with Yamaha a lot. I can give you the rider experience perspective, right? I had no idea. So Sebastian, I didn't even get on that bike like, oh my God, there's going to be something different. I got on that bike like, oh, Yamaha R1, I got one, just didn't happen to have any tires. So I'm going to use this one to go out. So Dustin and I get out the GoPros and we're going out there, and just keep in mind, me and Dustin probably collectively have 70,000 miles at Button Willow, right? So I know every corner. I know how my bike feels. I know how it exits, everything. And man, as soon as I got on that bike, what I felt was I felt safer right away, right? And I felt safer because I didn't have to really have that bike just twist that throttle so hard. I could just literally come out at like 8,000 or 9,000 RPs, and it was just pulling so nice, man. And it just felt like, it felt better. It felt more stable. It felt like the delivery of power was more linear. It wasn't like kind of quirky like I felt with my R1 when I got to the top. That's when it got crazy, you know, and it was like, okay, well, I got to monitor this little section of crazy. And as long as I do that, I can continue to ride smooth. Because as you get more and more into riding, what you're really trying to do is be smooth. That's how you stay off the ground, right? That was something that Doug Chandler taught me a long time ago. Sorry if I'm dating myself again, but Doug Chandler was one of the smoothest riders I've ever seen ride fast. He just never looked like he was doing it. So I've always tried to mirror myself out of that. Obviously not nearly as quick, but just mirror that style of smoothness. And that's what the 2020 is. The 2020 gives you the ability to be smooth.
Yeah, I mean, just the throttle response alone, right? I mean, between going off to on, you know, negative to positive throttle, like all of a sudden it's like, oh, dude, it's way smoother. That off on transition, stumble, I guess you could say, or whatever. I don't know what hesitation. I don't know. That's not there anymore. It's like a more direct link.
No, I think you're right. I think there is a little bit of latency in the throttle response on mine, because I know I felt like sometimes mine would, once I twisted the throttle, it felt like there was that broad, you know, oh, there it is, you know, almost like a two-strokey type of throttle delivery. But man,
Sebastian's saying he wants one now.
Yeah, Sebastian, I swear to God, if you get it, you'll be like,
one on Friday, man. Like, I think the Champ School dudes are bringing the demo rig out. So I think they've got a 2020 R1, and I think they've got a few other 2020 bikes as well. So
how many 2020 R1s do we have?
We've got 3 of them, dude.
Okay,
the blue ones and the Raven.
Yeah.
And you know, I've kind of sort of adopted the Raven one.
Oh yeah. So
like we threw the Yoshimura pipe on it, and you know, GP suspension, threw a shock at it and a set of cartridges, and we don't even have like the super expensive shock. It's like an $800 Penske or something, you know.
Oh,
And,
dude.
yeah, dude, this one is gonna be the new.
Well, you're pretty much, that bike is pretty much going to be your next race bike. I already
I
see you
hope so.
doing
Yeah,
plenty.
that's
Yeah.
the overall plan.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll be with you, Sebastian, to take that financial shot up the behind, dude. We're both going to take it up like men. I'm definitely going to get a 2020. My whole idea, Sebastian, was to buy a 2015, and you know, in recent, or actually in past years, you know, you could buy like a really, really good sport bike and it would probably be valid for 4 or 5 years, easy, you know, and you can still achieve the same lap
I think
times, whatever.
that's still kind of true. I mean, you know, the 2020 is 5 years after the 15 came out, right? So
True, but I used to buy, like, I remember buying my new Gixxer, right? I started off with an '01 Gixxer 1000, then I had an '03, then I had an '05, right? And, you know, I remember buying my '05 and just going, did I really need to buy another bike? You know, my '03 was already dialed. It had Öhlins on it. It had an aquapulvic full suspension. I
yeah,
was doing really good lap times when I was racing CCS and AFM, and I was like, and I went on the other bike and I wasn't any faster, you know, and that's what's great about racing is your lap times tell you everything, right? And I
yeah.
wasn't any faster, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if that was a difference. I know for a fact that I would be faster on that 2020 than on the 2015.
Oh yeah. You know, it's funny is one of our guys, he's kind of a new track days guy, Rich McGee's on here commenting.
Oh,
What's
awesome.
up, Rich? But yeah, you know, he says he's so down to try one. I'm like, dude, didn't you already try one?
Yeah.
And then second of all, he says, anyone want to buy my 15?
Dude, hey Rich, I'm gonna give you some positive right now. I sold my 2015 in what, a week, D?
Yeah, you sold it quick.
It was like, all I did, Rich, is I put it on Facebook. I posted it on CVMA's site, and that wasn't really even where I ended up selling it. Where I sold it, believe it or not, was OfferUp, dude.
What?
OfferUp. Yeah, dude. Can you believe that? I thought OfferUp was merely a technicality. Like, I'll just put it on OfferUp. I got the app, you know, I'll put it on Craigslist. So I put Craigslist, OfferUp. I posted it on TrackDaz site. I posted it on our staff page, and I posted it on CVMA. And I think honestly, it would have sold faster had I, like, you know, been home on a couple of those occasions, but I had like 2 or 3 occasions where I was like, I'm a musician. I wasn't really able to pick up the call or really meet the dude. It'd probably been 3 days. So really, the bottom line is the 2015 is still a great bike, especially people that ride on the street because they're so pretty. You're going to sell that thing quick.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. So, you know, what have you been doing during the lockdown, man? Like you're usually a Renaissance man or whatever. Everybody, your wife actually said, didn't she just hate him because you're like one of those dudes who's like kind of good at everything?
Dude.
You know, you do the stand-up comedy thing and kill at that, and then you're a drummer. I've actually seen you rap. So, you know, tell me a little bit about that, dude. Like, what's your deal?
You
like,
know,
you're good at everything, jerk.
This has been a good time. You know, I like to try to look at the glass half full as much as I can, right? And a lot of times I've been doing a lot of music, right? So I play in rock bands, I play in funk bands, I play in reggae bands. I like all music. So I play drums I have a band that pretty much covers every genre. I have a band that covers country, right? So I've got like 6 bands that I'm in, and I try to balance my time with those bands. And then I like to do, my comedy has a different meaning. I'm not one of those comedians that goes out and does shows. I'm usually a comedian that has a purpose.
Yeah.
So it'll be a charitable purpose. It'll be, you know, no-kill dog shelters, which is big with Lily, or it'll be,
me too, man. But you did that one for the one we went to, the last one Lily and I went to, I think was for MS, I think, right?
Yeah, no, Autism Speaks.
Autism, that's what it was.
Yeah. So I'll do that, and I like that, man, because I like doing comedy on my own time. So I get to put the show together. I get to put my favorite comedians together. I get to boost a couple local guys that are good that haven't really had a shot and get them out there. So that's really, really fun. Unfortunately, all that's been kind of shut down, but what
Yeah.
it makes you do is it makes you go back to the drawing board, write some stuff, you know, write comedy, because I really want to get back into doing the comedy that's more about me and not about just kind of generalized topics. And those are really difficult because a lot of times when you write about generalized topics, everybody can relate to it. But when you write about you, it's you're trying to paint a picture of your story and what life was like with you. So that's kind of been my goal. So I've been doing that. Music, just practicing, you know, just working on the tunes that I'm going to be working on with these bands when I come out, so we can come out swinging. And just, you know, just looking forward to getting a nice little track days in, man. I got to be honest, dude.
Me too, man.
I'm looking forward to that, dude.
So just a heads up, James Romero, also another track days dude, said he actually heard some of your music. He went to one of your gigs and he said that you rocked. So
oh, thanks, James.
I'd say that's a pretty familiar thing. You know, we saw one of your bands that we didn't see the reggae band. We saw like your
you saw a New Vintage, I think. New Vintage,
And it was pretty interesting. You know, dude, I don't know how you just keep drumming like that for hours on end, first of all. And then, I mean, the fact that you can do that and sing and rap and whatever and still stay on beat, it's just kind of nuts. And as far as the comedy thing, I'm actually fortunate that I've been able to see you multiple times. You know, I saw you a couple times up during the MotoGP weekend, Club Gemini, right?
Yeah.
And then I've seen you at the Comedy Store, like on the strip.
Yeah. That was all you, dude. That was all you.
Epic, bro. Like I took some friends and we all kind of saw you there, and then obviously the Autism Speaks show as well, down in Carlsbad area, right? And man, every time you've got a way to figure it out, like how you've got new material, right?
Well, I appreciate you and Lily. I mean, you guys always come out and support me, so I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Because that was a long drive when you guys came out to Autism Speak, so that was big.
It was fun though. We hung out and we did the whole breakfast thing or whatever the next day.
And I got to give a shout out to James too, because me and James Romero had a great ride, man. We rode to, I think we did Laguna together, so we carpooled to Laguna. Okay. We had a great ride. It's so cool to get an opportunity just to hang out with each one of the TrackDaz staff members. That's what I really love about our staff is, finding those like one-on-one times, like me and Bryce came over to the house once and we did a bike ride, and it's cool to have all these one-on-one spots. God only knows how many times you've come over and we've had our one-on-ones, whether it's been a bike ride or a comedy show or music or whatever, and you get to have these like individual things that are just like kind of really make TrackDaz set apart as far as the crew.
I mean, look, we do that track day cycling thing or whatever, and I've gone down to Orange County several times to go ride with Stu and Bryce and a few of the other guys. Ken Tam has been on a few of those.
Yep. Me, Ken and Stu had a ride together because I actually got together with Ken and Stu, and they were doing a century where they were coming from Irvine. And I just picked them up and we just set it up perfectly where I just picked them up in Carlsbad, rode all the way down to the end of their century.
100.
Huh?
You guys go ahead and go the rest of that.
Yeah. Go ahead, dude. Well, they already had, like, by the time I met them, I think they had like 50 miles under their belt by the time I met them.
Yeah.
So I actually did 100 as well because I did a 50 miles with them and turned around and came home. So I ended up doing like 87, almost 90. But it was really cool. Stu was a beast, dude.
Oh, dude, that dude's a Billy goat.
He is a
every time I ride
beast.
with him too. I mean, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm kind of out of shape, whatever. And Stu's like, yeah, don't worry about it. And so, I'll end up doing the climbs that he makes me do. I'm not scared, but it's like, wow, bro.
Dude, there's one that's by Stu's house, dude, that Stu took us on, dude. I swear to you, dude, it was so steep that we had to traverse. I've never had to traverse on a bicycle, but it was like, I'm in the lowest possible gear. We were traversing. Stu, I don't know where Stu's at, but hopefully Stu will get on a call with you and tell you what the name of that street is. It is gnarly, dude. It has to be 16 on the degrees of slope, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. But it's short.
Yeah. Have you been on that one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I've been on all of Stu's like torture.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, no, Stu is like, he's disciplined and he's focused, man. That's where He's dangerous, man. You
Yeah,
walk
so
up on
I'm being
student.
asked when's the next track day. Abraham, I don't know if you're signed up or whatever, but we're going to Buttonwillow on Friday, dude. And then we're back at Chuckwalla for the 16th and 17th, and then CVMA. Dude, you got to give those guys props because they figured out a way to squeeze a race weekend into this nonsense that we're in right now. And, yeah, okay, it's the end of the month and maybe that's not your most ideal weekend that you'd like to be at Chuckwalla, but the fact that they buckled down, rolled up their sleeves and, are deciding to put on a weekend, that says a lot about them, I think.
Is that end of May or?
Yeah. So,
okay.
We're going to do that split deal with them that we've been doing this year with the race weekend Friday. So TrackDaz is going to host the 29th, I think, but we're only doing B group and C group people. And then CVMA is the other side of it where they're going to do racer only practice. So
so CVMA is handling the morning and the afternoon, and we're handling
we're handling the day. We're basically like we're doing B group and C group, and then they're doing like racer group 1 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I mean, it's like we're 20-minute sessions, but with 4 groups.
I got you.
And we just burn through it, and it seems to work out okay. I mean, it's not like it was before. New Racer School is through them as well, but the fact is, it's there, and we go from having nothing, no track days for months on end, right? It seems like it's only been 2 months, but
right.
Okay, let's just say for months on end to make it sound way worse than it was. But to go from nothing to having 4 events within like a 3-week time span.
Yeah. No, that's exciting, dude. I mean, it's weird. I didn't think I would miss it that much, Like as soon as you sent out the post, I was like, dude, I gotta get out of this house, dude. Now.
Dude. Yeah, I literally will just leave and I'll go to Home Depot or something just to get out of the house.
Oh, dude, you were asking me earlier about like some things that I've done to keep myself busy, dude. The wife put me on a serious, challenging task, dude. She asked me to redo the laundry room, dude, and I just finished it, dude. So I am going to definitely post up some before and afters, dude. And I like learned so much in a month. I learned about electrical, plumbing, all that, because she had this like, I don't know if you guys out there that are married or have girlfriends, dude, but their big thing is Pinterest, dude. If you got a girlfriend and if she gets on a Pinterest account, that's your ass, dude. You are done. Yeah, so I've been trying to like totally make her dreams a reality out of Pinterest, dude. And dude, she's testing me, bro.
So Matt Cavarla is another one of our guys. He's asking about the Laguna event in June. And as far as I know, it's still on. I mean, it's like at the end of June, hopefully we'll be able to do that one. And, but if I hear something different, we'll make an announcement and deal with it at that point. Hopefully we can run Laguna. I like riding Laguna. It seems to be getting kind of harder and harder to be able to get on the schedule there with the lottery system or whatever. So, we're moving forward like June 26th at Laguna Seca is going to happen. But yeah.
Laguna's funny, man. I mean, they're definitely, if there's going to be a rule, they're going to be the rule followers for sure, so they're always kind of difficult. I love the Buttonwillows, man. Buttonwillow, I've always been a big fan of Buttonwillow. It's just no drama, man. It's just a real easy track. I love the fact that it has its difficulty. I love the fact that it has just every type of turn you can possibly imagine. Have we ever thought about doing a race, maybe a consistent race weekend at Buttonwillow, D?
You never know, man. I mean, I know AFM's going there, and I think Weira goes there. So I mean, I think there's like 3 or 4 weekends a year there already.
Okay.
The reality is, there's no dates available for Buttonwillow to start their.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? So,
because the way CVMAs run, it's too bad that you can't take that same protocol that you've been a big part of creating and take that out, because it's like, now you have CVMA, right? What I love about CVMA, and compared to all the other racing organizations that I've been involved in, I've been CCS, Weira, AFM, all those, right? And I walk in, the one thing I see about CVMA, it just feels a lot more organized. It feels like, you know, you guys really have a lot of rider advocacy, as opposed to what scares me about, and I don't mean to throw any of these racing organizations under the bus, but what scared me about AFM, dude, was just how many people they would let sign up for one race, dude. And then you're like, man, we're going into
Well,
the
the thing is,
corner.
you know, I don't know. I don't have anything negative to say about that. I mean, you know, I mean, it's pretty widely known my thoughts on where those guys are missing, and it's not with regards to that. It was with other stuff, but yeah, I mean, I've raced a lot of different series over the years, right? You know, going out to Colorado was pretty cool. You know, MRA was fun. I mean, anybody gets a chance to road trip and race at another club, I mean, you got to do that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's what I'm saying about CVMA, right? I think the one delta with CVMA is the riders really running the agenda a little bit more, having a little bit more say on, hey, that didn't feel safe, man. Can we keep doing that? Because, you know, you have different ranges of people that join races, right? And
Yeah,
most of
like a
those
prime
people,
example of that is like, I think the first season we had this meatball flag if you jumped the start and you had to like come in for a stop and go. And but like it originally wasn't done, like I guess it wasn't articulated clearly in the rule book. So Jeremy Toy helped us with that. Let's just put it that
okay,
way.
okay, okay.
So
Right.
Jeremy freaking rips through the pit lane. Everybody's like on their heels, like, holy crap.
Right, right.
And it's like, oh shit, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And
But it was
like, you know,
so it wasn't a stop and go? Then it wasn't a stop and go. It was just run through
oh
the.
no, he whooshed in, stopped, and then, you know,
Oh, gotcha.
and it just created an issue. And, you know, it was like, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't do that. And,
Right.
You know, from then on, I think they moved it to a penalty on time.
Right.
So they'll add whatever it is. I can't recall. It's 5 seconds maybe.
But you know what? That's a great example, right? Because obviously it's movable, right? It's something that you can go, that wasn't a good idea, and then we can make a quick change. And what I like about the penalty on time is if I paid a race and I make a mistake, allow me still to compete, take my 5 seconds away from me. But if me and a guy are sitting there and we're battling back and forth, dude, and you take that battle away from me and you make me ride by myself, it's like, well,
Yeah.
what's the point, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's one of those deals. It's like, it just, the other way, it seemed like a good idea on paper, and in execution, it was not a good idea at all. And so it just made an adjustment. You know, it's sort of like the stopping red flag thing, huh?
Yeah. Let's stop on the track, dude.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man. And it's like, it's funny that no one really ever just went, let's rethink that just for a second.
Yeah, I mean, that stopping red flag thing was something that happened. It was like a common deal for years, and then, you know, all of a sudden it wasn't. And
Right.
you know, there's still a few organizations that do that nonsense, but most people have kind of wised up. And, you know, in theory, like I said, in theory, it's a good idea, right? Because it's safer.
Right.
Everybody, you know, but like it doesn't account for how people individually react to things.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, how many times at Willow did we see that helicopter land because of that?
Yeah. Right? Oh my
So,
goodness.
and same thing at other places too, you know, but I specifically have the helicopter thing just because it was like right across from our pit at Willow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like a dude kind of sits up, rolls off the throttle, and then the dude behind him doesn't see it. And,
what is going on with Willow, man? I've heard so much stuff kind of but really not been directly in line with the current events on Willow.
Yeah,
Didn't they change ownership or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think the Huth family still kind of runs that place. Truthfully, the closest I've gotten there, I actually, you know what? I take that back. I went and picked up something from an Apex Assassins a day, I think last year, and said hi to everybody. Rode my bicycle out there. But other than that, besides riding my bicycle by the place, I haven't set foot on the property except for that one day that I said hi to Finley and those dudes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have no idea what's going on. I've heard all sorts of rumors, and I've heard it's for sale, and I've heard all sorts of stuff. But you know, until John Ulrich posted in Road Racing World, it doesn't happen, right?
Right. Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So
yeah, man. Well, I'm looking forward to this week, man. I'm psyched, bro. I am psyched. I'll be there Thursday helping you put out the COVID 6-foot distance tape.
Yeah, or chalk.
Or chalk. So
yeah.
You guys out there, if you guys want to help us with the COVID chalk, man, we'll be out there Thursday, like around
chalk.
2 o'clock.
Yeah. I think we're gonna label it that. Actually, we're gonna brand it.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see. We got another question here. So Sebastian, again, thanks for watching this, by the way, dude. We've been talking.
Yeah, Sebastian, thanks, bro.
That. He wants to know what the requirements are to race CVMA, and my dogs are barking. Stand by. He wants to know what the requirements are to go racing, and you know, if you're an A group rider and you know you're wanting to make that next step, you just gotta connect with them, sign up for new racer school. You gotta pass that, and then you know after you pass new racer school, they'll give you a license right there. And I think your license is actually included now in the school price. So when you pay your money once, you just pay the same people, right? And then you go racing. It's pretty simple, you know. But how do you not pass the racer school? That's the question.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. So what you want to do, Sebastian, is when you have that little mock race at the end of new racer school, if I can be so bold as to give you some advice, go fast, don't crash.
Yeah,
don't
and
crash.
wants to know if he needs a middleweight bike. And dude, you don't need a middleweight bike. You could come out on on an ultra lightweight, like an R3 or something.
You can come out on a vintage bike if you wanted to.
Yeah, dude. Like we had that dude on the vintage pile. Huh? Yeah. We had a dude a couple of years ago on an electric bike, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry about the dogs.
Yeah. So yeah, man, good luck with that, Sebastian. We're looking forward to seeing you out there. Sebastian coming to Button Willow this Friday.
Is who? I don't know. I think he's coming from Washington, maybe.
Nice.
Crazy in that. I don't know, but Matt Cavarlis says RT, you know, whatever, read the rule book. And, you know, that's the thing that a lot of guys forget to do. And then, you know, they show up and, you know, if you're going to go racing, you should definitely look through the rule book, make sure stuff's right, you know, drill all your holes in the right spot. So
dude, God, I mean, how many stories do we have about racer tech, man? I can tell you right now, Sebastian, the best advice I can give you, man, is don't be that guy that sits in that long racer tech line and you get there and you just forgot to do that one thing. It's horrible. Racer tech is not like tech at a track day. Track day tech is a lot more relaxed. Racer tech is like seriously anal. So you really got to be on your game, and there's nothing that ruins your weekend just like by not being prepared at a race weekend. It's already got a lot of stuff going. So, you know, Matt had some good advice, man. I know it sounds like crazy, but we all, you know, have Mexican food and need to take a dump. Put your book right by your toilet, dude. Take a page and you'll be good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've done tech before. You know, I was a WSMC tech guy for years. And, you know, one of the things that used to really irritate the crap out of me, and I don't really do tech now. I know Rich McGee does tech at CVMA, as does Billy Russell and, you know, Ryan Whitman. Those guys do tech there. And one of the things that used to tick me off is that, you know, these guys would come to tech like suited up, ready to go out, you know, final call, and they would come in to get their tech slip. And I can remember a WSMC guy, I don't remember what his name was because it's been so long, but you know, he shows up and he's aggro with me because, you know, something's not wired or something. And I'm like, dude, your belly pan's full of oil, bro. Like, you go out there.
Yeah.
Richie's just going to go out there and come get you. By the way, Richie being a WSMC crash truck dude, that tells you how old that story is.
Brutal.
But, you know, I mean, I've seen the AMA Pro guy. Sorry, Kerry Andrew, this was you. He came into tech and he was like, F you, give me a sticker kind of thing. And it's like, dude, you don't have anything wired. What do you want from me? And So, you know, yeah, I mean, if your club doesn't make you wire it, that doesn't mean that our club doesn't make you wire it, you know? So,
Yeah.
and I've personally failed CBMA tech a few times. I know Rich
Yeah.
McGee sent me packing. It was like, dude, what's wrong with you, man? I'm like, dude, I
Yeah.
didn't touch this thing. Jimmy.
Yeah.
So I blame Jimmy every time.
Right.
It's always Jimmy's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, but definitely, like you said, like Matt said, Sebastian, if you do race, man, that's probably the one thing in my racing experience that sucked the most, was just like trying to assume I knew what I needed to do with my bike before I went through tech, and then going through tech. And then all of a sudden you go from this like relaxed waiting to go through tech, and then all of a sudden you find it as something major you didn't do. And then all of a sudden now you're like sweating and you're just all like, everything has to be done now. You can't get out to your first session for practice. And it immediately goes from being a relaxed day to just sucking right away.
Right. Oh, and Abram also says that we put on the best barbecues.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the crappy COVID things, right? I mean, you know, because of this whole social distancing thing and stuff, you know, the ability to do that epic barbecue that we usually do is kind of thrown out the window. But the thing is, and at this point, I'm stoked to just be able to get to ride again. So, you know,
Well, we're still gonna do. Are we still thinking about doing some live music deal on one of these? One of
you
your
know what,
events?
man? I mean, we talked about doing like a 20th anniversary track days deal,
Yeah.
right? But I think we got to get the state to like open up a little bit more so we can have like the spectator thing or whatever.
Right.
You know, we got to kind of let that sit on the shelf for a bit. So, you know, there has been talk about doing like a track days roast of me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
probably by you and the rest of the team.
Right.
But then we've also talked about roasting the whole team because there's a lot of material there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we got a bunch of characters on the track days crew.
Totally.
And we all have our own unique level of character, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes.
So I don't know. That could be fun too. So, you know, all that stuff's kind of on the shelf until the Rona slide is done.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh yeah, James Romero is like, oh yeah, dude, CVMA's Friday Night Tech is the best. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I mean,
I do.
You know, going out and getting all that stuff done so you don't have to focus on anything but that Saturday morning stuff. I mean, basically Saturday morning, if you've already done tech Friday night, I mean, all you got to do is figure out where your grid spot is.
Right.
And qualify and all that, right? That's another thing.
Is James, ask James if he's going to be racing CVMA this year.
Dude, James ain't going to go racing. Dude, his wife would freaking murder that.
Okay. Well, we missed James, man. He was fast, man. He was starting to click off some really good times.
He was, and then you know he had that gnarly one, you know, and yeah,
motorcycle 101, dude.
I mean, dude, I've gone through it too, right? I mean, I broke my back 2 years ago, so I mean, that's one of those deals where it's like you gotta step back and go, wait a minute, dude, I'm old.
Right, yeah.
So.
Well, shit, that shit don't feel good when you're young, dude. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. That shit does not feel good at all. I didn't
break my back when I was young.
Dude, I had a couple good young shots, and I don't think I enjoyed them any less, dude. I was like, this sucks, man. I remember being at Laguna back in the day, dude, and I had my Gixxer, dude, and I crashed in turn 6. And this is like the weirdest thing about motorcycles, man, because you're going so fast that you lose your concept of speed. So one of the common errors that people do is they try to stand up before they come to a complete stop. And I crashed in turn 6 at Laguna, and I felt like I stopped sliding. I swear to God, till this day, I would still swear to God, I felt like I stopped sliding, dude. And I got up and I was probably still doing 30, and it just wrenched my knee behind me and just blew my ACL, dude. Just like that, dude. I was like, oh, that sucks.
I did the goofy shoulder here, kind of a similar situation at Willow Springs, but Yeah, it's like, you know, you're not done sliding, but it feels like you stopped sliding.
It's weird when you go from like 120 or whatever.
Super acrobatic all of a sudden.
Yeah. No, that flip was nice, dude. That little gainer I did was nice. I mean, it cost me an ACL, but it was a nice gainer, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
nice.
I think I did a little bit of like a can opener into a, yeah. So, but yeah, so James Romero says that he might sneak something.
Okay. Yeah,
so, yeah. You know, firm policy on that, James, is you know, ask for forgiveness rather than permission, right?
Oh yeah, that's the rules, dude. We already know that. Yeah.
He's totally gonna get murdered.
Yep. That'll be cool.
Let's see, what else? Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, so Cavarlos is like, yeah, let's screw it. Let's do the barbecue anyway. Look how the restaurants are doing it outdoors or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'd be super down with that, but at the same time, we're already kind of stretching the limits on our, you know. So let's just let that be where it is. And
you know what the problem is in this day and time is we just have so many varying opinions. And when you're trying to kind of stand on the fence and just really not piss anybody off, everybody in their opinion is just so extreme right now. You know, it's unfortunate that we don't have people that add a little bit of logic to each opinion. Like I can look at anybody's opinion and go, dude, you got a point there. You know, I don't have to be extreme left or extreme right, but I noticed in this COVID thing, people are either full blown honor the quarantine, don't go outside, don't infect others. And there's other people that are like, dude, the CDC just put out numbers. There's only this many people. It still hasn't killed as many people as the flu last year. So you can kind of understand the stats and everything.
It's so just boring. You know, I mean, we ride motorcycles, dude. Not one of us is like a virologist or whatever, dude. Right. We don't know any of that stuff. We ride motorcycles. We're idiots.
Yeah.
We're scumbags, right?
But I mean, I think that's to Matt's point, right? You know, Matt's like, screw it, let's have a barbecue. And I totally feel where he's at, right? But you have to, as a track day provider, you have to kind of do the political correct fine middle line, you know. You have to honor those people that take it seriously.
You gotta play the game, right? These are the rule. This is the current rule book that we're trying to follow, right? So yeah, I mean, that's why we have those, you know, those guidelines or whatever, regardless of our personal thoughts on that stuff. Right. It's just, I am so bored and over constantly seeing my friends on both sides of the equation arguing their points back and forth and back and forth. It's like, dude, shut up. You ride motorcycles, dude. Just the biggest scumbag.
Well, you know what the general thing is? Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. That's why you have these extreme arguments. I think no one is really listening. And I think that sometimes we get caught in our ego. It's hard and all we want to be is be right.
Listen to also, right? I mean, you know, who do you listen to?
Right.
I mean,
well, I listen to everybody, dude. Like that's why I like listening to Joe Rogan, right? Like Joe Rogan's probably like, he's like the epitome of like, you can look at a Joe Rogan podcast and you can see he's just coming from the point of intellect. He's not coming from the point of a side. He's not dogmatic in one area or another. He's just like, dude, that makes sense, bro. But let me ask you this. And then he just asks a compelling question. You know, let me ask you this. He's more on the question and answer side of things where he doesn't understand rather than being on the judgmental side of things, dude. Rather than ask your judgment, just ask somebody. Because a lot of times people will have a really, really good explanation for feeling the way they feel. And then you can have a little better understanding.
Yeah, Cowboys kind of taught me that too. And that's more like something to do with everything, like human nature stuff. But you know, people are a certain way sometimes, you know, for whatever reason, they have stuff going on in their life and we don't know what that is.
Right.
So, you know, that's kind of why people are the way they are sometimes. And, you know, so it's hard to, in the moment, sometimes it's hard to not take it personal. But then if you step back and go, oh, dude, that guy, like his house is in foreclosure or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? Well, that's like a lot of these people with the corona, right? Like you see the people that are like, you know, that are at the steps that are like, this is BS, right? Those people are sucking wind right now. They're like, I can't even pay my bills, dude. Of course I'm pissed about being inside, not being able to work, you know? And then you look at their point, and you're like, dude, that is brutal. you know, and then you look at the people that are like, you know what, don't start the spread, you know, you're being disrespectful to others, you're not honoring other dangers, and you know, you see that as well, you know, and then you see people that are like fact finders, they put
I'm
out
more of like
CDC numbers.
I'm more of just like a share funny memes kind of guy.
Yeah,
Scumbag motorcyclist.
yeah, wow, absolutely, that's
So
always been you,
yeah,
D.
I mean, you know, Matt Cavarlas is like, yeah, arguing on the internet, it's like Special Olympics or whatever. But
That's awesome, Matt.
you know,
That's a good one, bro. You got to put that one up, dude.
Olympics like that. First of all,
Yeah,
that's not
it's yeah, it's horrible, but it's true though, man. There's a little element of truth to it because it's like, dude, I watch. Sometimes I'll get caught up every once in a while. I don't do like you go to my Facebook page. You're like, dude, do you even know how to log in, dude? I literally have no posts, dude, and I should,
yeah,
you know, I should.
You know, to get up and do this, I just text you and I'm like, hey, dude, click on this
Yeah.
link.
You already know my Facebook etiquette sucks. I suck at Facebook.
My Facebook is literally just so I can mostly talk to the staff guys and talk
Right.
about days, right? So,
yeah.
you know, that's kind of what we're doing. And dude, we've been talking for over an hour. Can you believe people?
Dang. Okay. Well, shoot, I was going to thank everybody who actually like really cared about what me and Dustin even thought, dude. You guys are awesome, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So you know what? The last thing I'm going to bring it up because Ludwig's actually stuck on a work related meeting, so he's not going to be able to get on here. But let's talk about his he was talking to me last night. He's been going through something. It's kind of weird too, because you know he's like super into the motorbike thing. He loves it. He like eats, sleeps, and breathes the motorcycle thing. You know, he wants to do it all the time, but since we've been down for so long, and you know, to have nothing, and then all of a sudden, you know, we've got 4 events in 3 weeks, right? He's kind of got a little bit of apprehensiveness to him about like, dude, I don't want to be back on the track. And dude, he had the opportunity to ride last week in multiple places. I mean, he was supposed to go ride minis with Pete Pham and those guys, and he could have gone to Chuckwalla, and dude, he didn't do any of that. He stayed home. And like, what do you think about that? I mean, dude, I am not apprehensive about riding at all, but everybody has their own deal, right? And so, you know, if you've been one of those dudes that have been consistently riding for a long time, like, what do you think about that? Like, what would you say to Ludwig? I already said what I was going to say to him last night. I was like, dude,
well, is his apprehension the fact that he feels he's rusty? Is that where his apprehension's coming from?
I don't know if it's a mental thing or what, man. But
yeah, I'd have to know the root of his apprehension to even really be able to speak intelligently to what's going on with him. But, you know, obviously it would be my opinion, right? I mean, for me, it's like, okay, so if we're looking at it from, you know, a COVID thing, I'm going to have my TrackDaz mask, right? And I'm going to honor the social distance and do all that. So I'm good there, right? So I got that dialed. I got that crossed. As far as riding, dude, I've dealt with a lot of like long periods of layoff time without riding a motorcycle. So I have a technique, dude. I let my brain tell me when it's okay to go fast. And me and my brain have a really, really good relationship because the ego's not involved in the discussion.
So while you're out there doing laps, you're talking to yourself?
No, you know, my brain.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I do.
Yeah. I'm just like, dude, let's chill that. Let's roll that back a little bit.
One of the things I told him, and we kind of talked through it, is that, you know, we all kind of take breaks, right? I mean, you know, I've myself taken a few breaks over the time I've been riding. I haven't, you know, I'd never really stopped riding at the track. I mean, I haven't stopped since the late 90s, but, you know, I did take a break from racing a few times. And, you know, I mean, even now, I mean, I haven't raced in over a year. It's insane. But, you know, everybody has their own version of a break. I know Cowboy took a break there from racing a bit, and Stu, that dude's in his 50s or whatever, and that dude will just suddenly up and go all into racing. He'll do like a full season or two, and then he punches out, right? So, you know, I don't think Stu's racing right now, but he's got a really trick R6, and now he's screwing around that Ducati thing. So, you know, my message to Ludwig is like, dude, you're not alone. It's not abnormal to like want to take a break.
But what I will tell Ludwig is
this. On Friday,
yeah, I will say this to Ludwig, man. Follow your gut, dude. I mean, I would say I've gotten this far being an avid motorcyclist by following my gut. I've actually been that person that's driven to a race weekend and had a really, really strong bad feeling and never took my motorcycle off the back of my truck. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem doing it. You see me do it, Dustin.
All day.
You seen me do that
all day, and I was like,
yeah.
Get in your leathers and ride. You didn't even unload your bike that day.
No, didn't even unload my bike.
It's just, it's a times, actually.
But I think we're blessed with that. I think everybody's blessed with that. I think anybody who's ever like been a victim of a bad motorcycle crash, I guarantee you can go back to the moment when they reflect, when their body was like, dude, I'm not feeling it. We shouldn't do this, or something was just not working and you just kept forcing and you kept forcing, and then all of a sudden, bam, it ended up being a real bad day.
Forcing it is always the worst thing ever, right?
Oh my God.
And it's like being that we've done this for a long time, we see other people that making the same mistakes we made 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude.
And it's like, dude.
You'll see them having a bad day. You'll see them go through tech. Their bike is like the exhaust fell off or something. And you're like, I'll look at them. I go, I know this is going to be hard for you because you got all gung ho about this track day, but you came through tech. You forgot your shield. One glove is missing. You can't find one of your gloves. You're calling the paddock. You're right. You're calling the paddock to see if anybody has a battery for a 1998 600. You know what I mean? It's like, you might want to stop, dude. You might want to just let that one go and come back next time, go work on the things that shut you down, go find your glove, go get that battery fixed, and just go watch.
So I'm gonna, there's a guy that just joined and he started watching us, and he's like muscle bound, looks like the Incredible Hulk. Ed Guzman, what's up?
Oh, wow, what's up, Ed?
I'm like, which way to the weight room, Ed?
Yeah, dude.
We know he knows.
Yeah. Dude, you look at Ed, man, when you look at somebody that's like 250 bodybuilder in leathers on a 750, 600 or 600, dude, he actually had a 600 once, dude.
Oh, I remember, dude. I've known Ed forever, right?
Yeah, dude, it looked like that 600 was just like a little bike, dude. It's funny, man.
The 600, it looked like Cody should have been riding it.
Yeah. Yeah, for some of you guys who can't see Ed, dude, he's a big giant dude, man. He's like bodybuilding
kind of dude.
Yeah,
he's huge.
And the leathers just amplify it, dude. I don't know what it is about leathers, but when you get in leathers and you're already a big dude, it's like, damn, bro.
Yeah, he is definitely not wearing an off the rack suit. Sorry, Ed. Dude, they don't make like 24-inch Python arms.
Nah, dude. No, when they make his leathers, they just turn the cow over, slit that motherfucker open, and put a zipper on it. And that's his leathers, dude.
Yeah, man. So Friday we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that writers meeting on Zoom thing. So I mean, it's just gonna be our regular writers meeting. I'm just gonna point the iPad at the person talking.
Okay. So, all right. I'm looking forward to that.
That's kind of how we're gonna do that. And I don't know how many people are gonna join up on that, but we did send an email about it. So
okay.
Anything else you got going on?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to be there. I'll be there Thursday, man. So I'll be there hanging out. We'll get to shoot the breeze like we normally do, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on Thursday, man, and hanging out. Looking forward to getting out of the house, man. And for some of those guys out there who are out there, man, come out and join us. Come hang out, man.
Yeah, forgive us if we don't shake hands.
Yeah, that will not be happening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that's kind of a weird thing anyway, but that's something that we always do,
Right.
Hug and all that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Now it's just gonna be like the Vato, what's up?
Yep.
Head up.
Right? Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of like how we're gonna do that. Let's see, Sebastian says he's coming to the next event with a free hug sign.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That's that's on you, man.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 0 on the hugs.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm still gonna do 2-up rides, but we're in leathers. It's
exactly.
Anyway. So
yeah,
sort of, not really, but like kind of.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, we had a Canadian friend of ours here. Marianne is saying, Marianne. Sorry if I jacked up your name.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's coming down from Canada, and she's like, man, I just wish the borders were open so I could come ride with you guys.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh,
yeah, dude,
man,
borders close both sides, I
brutal.
think, up there in
Damn.
Canada and New Mexico. So,
Okay.
I know that Richard with the Attack is going to do a test, I think, the week following our event or something like that. He's going to bring Jake and Cam out to ride. And, I talked to a couple of team managers, and, they had some riders in Mexico that can't get over. So it's like, okay, well, we'd love to help you test, but
Right.
so, that's just the unfortunate reality we're in. It's not going to last forever, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Well, I think I'm going to end this one. And dude, thanks for jumping on with this. And everybody that doesn't realize this is kind of like a trial run for my thing with Richard later.
Yeah.
But
just a little beta test.
Yeah, beta test. There you go. Yeah, and appreciate you guys asking questions of us and OG Track Day staff, dude. There, Jeff Brown. And we'll see you guys at the track.
All right, brother. Take care, guys.
Yep.
Later.